Well, up next, our third match. As the players continue just to stay warm. It's going to be EJ Tackett, the debutant for the United States, against Jesper Svensson from Gothenburg, who came in last year and made a very impressive debut. One or two furrowed brows on the European side of things. As everybody knows, it's a race to 19, so it's far too early to start celebrating and planning any party when you're 2-0 up or indeed 2-0 down. But Europe would like to get this campaign up and running, because you look at this American lineup, and you've already alluded to this, Cass, and you say, where is the weak link? And there is no sign of a weak link, and certainly not with the man that we're about to see now.
EJ Tackett, the 2016 Player of the Year, the reigning World PBA Champion, and the winner of the 2017 Tournament of Champions, ranked 6th on the World Tour. There is nobody better. They do say he will win everything. I'm not sure whether that might include the lottery or not, but certainly in bowling, he's very much up for it.
Those world rankings do have to be taken with a slight grain of salt, because they're measured over 3 years, I believe, and well, measured by what you do around the world. So if you don't travel, you don't score. But basically, I think what Cass is saying, the man who is red hot right now is EJ Tackett. But Jesper Svensson is no slouch, and the Swede has got off with a strike.
And Europe lead in a game for the first time. Jesper Svensson, the two-handed left-hander, the only player that's playing on that left-hand side of the lane throughout the tournament. This is the third game on this lane without a lane dressing. After this match, the lane will be redressed with new oil.
So let's see what the American can do with his first ball. So here is Jesper Svensson. Just got the advantage of being the only player bowling on that side of the lane, so there won't be anybody else messing with his oil.
Yeah, nobody to corrupt the line that he's bowling. It's just him on his own. And the unique thing about Jesper is that he bowls urethane bowling balls, which are actually harder than the majority of bowling balls that these other guys are throwing, which are made of resin, which encourages more hook at the back end of the lane. Jesper, being a two-hander, gets so much revs, it's really unbelievable.
Oh, he's rolling as well here, Tackett. The Indiana native, 2 for 2.
Yeah, when he first joined the PBA Tour, he was nicknamed the rookie with the revs. Well, you can actually see why. His ball is revving at almost probably 600 revs, and the amount of action he gets in the back end is just crazy. Now,
speaking of revs and rookies, this fella's picked up some awards in his hometown, in his home country, hasn't he?
He was the Swedish rookie athlete of the year, not just bowling, of all sports in Sweden. So he appeared on national television in front of millions of people to pick up that award. Well done, Jesper.
Now, well done for a third consecutive strike. Who's going to blink first in this shootout?
Yeah, locked and loaded on that left-hand side.
Of course, these bowlers will never worry about what the other guy is doing. It's all about you and your game. Tackett won't be thinking, oh, he's put that wide. Now, hang on, that was the first time he blinked, or was that something to do with the oil moving around? Because he's missed the headpin completely, and by a wide margin.
I think that one just got off his hand. It's certainly gone wide. It's missed that down lane marker and gone almost to the channel. As you said, Nick, missed the headpin on the right-hand side, leaves the 1-2-4, which can only be a spare, and if he does, it'll be worth 17 points, because it's 7 on the first ball, plus 10 if he makes the spare.
So it's Tackett who blinks first. Got to make sure of just cleaning up the mess here, and he hasn't. Oh, that's a big, big leave. Oh, open frame.
Yes, that's cost him dearly, I'm afraid. He's got an awful lot of rotation on their ball, and it hooks an awful lot. Unfortunately, it hooks just a little bit too much here. It may well be that a straighter ball on that spare shot would have converted that one more easily.
Well, we saw Barrett forced into making adjustments, getting a new ball, but that's scratch your head time for EJ Tackett. But as you were, time for Jesper Svensson, who is perfect thus far, but he leaves a 7-pin standing.
Yeah, nice looking shot. Hit the pocket very nicely, coming up from the left-hand side. Maybe just a fraction light. It's very fast, isn't it? Yes, it's light on the head pin, and that's why the 4-pin is laid in the gutter and not taking out the 7. So he'll get his spare ball out, which is a harder surface ball. He may well still use the 2 hands, but it should go an awful lot straighter. He won't be looking for any hook on this ball at all.
Straight down the pipe. That just opens the door a little bit for Tackett, who's got to just shrug off the last frame, where it all went horribly wrong. Missed the head pin with his first ball and then didn't clean up the spare.
Yes, he's certainly going to have to regroup and throw a few strikes.
Well, this is a big ball. It's how do you respond to a situation like the one he's just faced? What does he come back with? That's a little bit more like it, yeah. Just tipped the 10-pin on its head. Could be my imagination there. We'd have to get our statisticians look at this. Did he move slightly further to the left at the point of release there?
I think he probably did, Nick. Well spotted, and he threw it a bit harder as well. He's just got a tap on that 10-pin, which counts strike, obviously. But he needed to make some sort of change from that last open frame, which he's done successfully.
So he is now back on the shoulder of Svensson, who is the front runner here, but he's got the American right behind him. He needs strikes to stay in front, and that throws the pressure back to the other guy.
What a fantastic looking shot that was. I mean, the camera angle showed exactly what he's doing with the bowling ball. Coming up from the left-hand side, lots of hook, hits right in the 1-2 pocket there, and the 10-pin stand no chance.
You'd bottle that shot if you could, that's for sure. So he's got to stay in touch here, Tackett. Well, that ball is doing an awful lot of work now.
Well, as I say, he was called the rookie with the revs. He's certainly got a high rev rotation on that bowling ball. Once he's got locked and loaded, he'll stay with it.
He's tucked in. The pressure stays on Svensson, who started out as a bricklayer before turning professional and cementing a place on the World Tour. And it's going to be tough to dislodge him from that tour the way he's bowling. He's got many, many good years ahead of him.
He's also a bit of a hockey fan as well as a great bowler. Oh dear.
Well, he's Swedish. I mean, that comes with the turf. Love their hockey in Sweden. That's ice hockey, of course.
Seems as though he can hit that head pin anywhere. That was light. Leaves the 10-pin in this corner, but there's enough deadwood flying around there just to clinch another 30 pins.
Yeah, and that's a kick in the teeth for Tackett as well. He was hoping that 10-pin would just stand tall. Didn't happen. It means that the American has to keep striking. Just look at what they're still on for here. That might be. Is that pin going to roll over? No, it didn't have enough momentum to take the 10 out, and that's the one they all dread, the 7-10.
He started way left with his feet on the approach. He threw it right.
Well, I think he's
hit the pocket, but it wasn't burying behind the head pin. The 4's gone round the 7, the 6 has gone round the 10, and he's got a 7-10 split, which, I mean, he looks to the gods. He knows this is likely to be an open frame, and it could well be the match.
He made the point there. It's not my imagination. I'm sure he's been moving further and further over to the left. If he carries on like this, he'll be bowling from the first row. That might just be game over as far as EJ Tackett is concerned.
Yes, it could be first score on the board for the Europeans. 31-pin lead for Jesper Svensson with 4 frames to go, but he's going to have to do something silly to let Jesper back in here.
Yeah, you can't.
Sorry, to let EJ Tackett back in.
Yeah, you can't have an opponent with 2 open frames and you don't punish them. And so far, he is doling out the pain. This is another dose of it. Well, the 10 is on its way over to kick over the 7. I'm not sure if it was the 10 or not, but whatever it was, these fans don't care. That 7 went. And there's your luck. I guess it was all the power that he produced that got that pin action down there, and watch that 7.
Well, it was hard and fast, wasn't it? And yes, it was the momentum of some dead wood flying around. It's taken the 7 pin away. And yes, was very happy because that's 3 strikes in a row, 6 strikes out of 7.
And that more or less seals EJ Tackett's doom in this one.
Well, that was the sort of shot he was trying to emulate last frame, and unfortunately it left him the 7-10, but he's come back with a vengeance, but he may be running out of frames. Great looking shot, but as I say, maybe too late.
Yeah, he's in the horrible position now of needing help. He needs Svensson here to let him in. And this fellow looks like he's carrying on from where he left off last year on his Weber Cup debut.
Yes, averaged 250 over his singles games last year. It's just fantastic shot, isn't it? I just love looking at that ball come up from the left-hand side. The camera angle is just great. And he rips the rack. He's making it look quite easy, isn't he?
It really is. This is effortless stuff. Both the two-handed release players, Kyle Troup for the Americans and Jesper Svensson for Europe, have been absolutely devastating so far. Well, he'll know the game is up. Now it's time for him to perhaps try some adjustments, maybe try a new ball, maybe try 1 or 2 different things. Whatever he tried there certainly worked.
Well, as I said, this is the 3rd game on this oiling pattern, and it will be the last one. There'll be what they call a redress. It will be re-oiled after this game, and it may well be that Tackett is just looking around for a different shot.
Looking ahead, Cass, match 6. We've got Jesper Larsson here, and he's going up against Kyle Troup. The two of very similar style, who've been very good as a doubles partnership, and we'll talk about that later on. We'll be going head to head. The 7-pin standing is of no real consequence here.
Yes, we knew that it would come sometime during the Weber Cup. The two-handers will meet head to head. Winner take all. Slightly disappointed leaving that 7-pin. But hey, if he's got the point, he should be very happy.
Is there any way that it mathematically leaves a glimmer of hope here for Tackett? You would think not, unless he misses this single pin here, and that was never going to happen.
Well, EJ's got to shoot 2 strikes and take 60 pins and score 258.
And then see what happens.
Svensson's already got 248 and a frame to go.
So he needs an open, doesn't he? He needs to strike here and hope disaster befalls Jesper Svensson in his last frame. I don't think there'll be too much money taken on that outcome.
No, that's right.
Well, he's done his part.
Well, he's come back with 3 strikes in a row. He's dropped his speed down and changed his angle into the pocket, and has started carrying some pins at last.
Well, that's what great players do. You adjust. You find something that works. Unfortunately, in this format, if you have to make an adjustment, you've probably lost the point. So all he's got to do here, really, Jesper Svensson, is just stay clean. And the Europeans will be on the board.
Yep, that's right. And with 7 strikes out of 9 shots, who's to say he's not going to finish in style? And a strike here will give him 278.
There it is. A huge sigh of relief being breathed by Team Europe fans around this auditorium. 278 for a man who you knew was capable of delivering for them. Yes, for Svensson, the left-hander, has done it again. So a real disappointment then for EJ Tackett. And doesn't that just sum up his night?
Yeah, a bit unfortunate, but he was behind, and Svensson wasn't going to let him off the hook.
It'll be interesting to see when we get down to the captain's choice at match 7, and the opposite captain picks the player. Now I wonder if Dominic Barrett is thinking, hello, this fella might be struggling a little bit, it's all relative. I wonder if he would throw Tackett back into the mix for game 7. We'll find out later on tonight, of course. But the good news for Dominic Barrett and the rest of Team Europe is the left-hander from Gothenburg has put his team on the board. They were 2-0 down. Match 3 was always going to be a big one, and it's gone Europe's way. The Weber Cup, early going, 2-1, USA leading Europe.